first is stuck. Let's do one today. Are you right down there? I want to talk to you about the gear selector. The CityBugs have got a kind of an issue, but I've seen a lot of stuff on the forums and they're talking about going from second to first gear, struggling whilst you're moving. Down, it won't go in, it's solid. I'm pressing on it until I'm actually stopped. Second to first, and it goes in. It's a bit of a tricky one, isn't it? It goes in once you're stationary, but from second to first whilst you're moving can be an issue. A lot of people think it's normal, that it's how they're supposed to be. Let me show you what it is. Let me show you what you can do, and let me show you what you can't do. Okay, let's go for a little spin. So everything else is fine. It goes up the gears okay, first to second, second to third, third to fourth, and all that, that's absolutely fine. The problem occurs when you're downshifting. So when you're going from third to second is okay, but when you're going from second to first, that's where the problem is. Now the reason behind this is all down to driving styles and how they've changed. Because if the car is working fine, get the seatbelt on before I get told off. So, problem occurs, here we go, I'm in second gear, I'm slowing down, straight into first, and I'm still doing 10 miles an hour. It can be done. It is supposed to be like that. That is how it works. But if you listen, I don't know if the phone will pick this up, but I'm now doing 15 miles an hour in second gear. I'm going to go to first, dip the clutch. Can you hear that gearbox then? It goes, and then it drops into gear. What that is the Synchromesh of the gearbox balancing the speed of the shafts. Here we've got a gearbox. You can see there's two shafts in there, one at the top, one at the bottom. As the gearbox rotates and you go through the gears, the two gears have to be running at the same speed for him to engage. That is what the Synchromesh does. As you put pressure on the gear selector, it pushes the cone clutch within the Synchromesh across, causes a bit of friction and synchronises the speed of the shafts, allowing you to change gear. So again, going really deep now, this is a really good close-up of the two shafts. As the selector pushes across on the gear, the little brass ring there puts pressure and then speeds these two gears up, which allows them to interlock like that. So the issue we get with the little CityBug on that second to first is this brass ring wears, which then doesn't allow it to get friction to push across. Now here's a close-up. This is a cone clutch, or the Synchromesh inside. That's a brass alloy synchro ring there, and it just sits on this tapered gear. You can see inside there it's got little ridges on it. This is an oil-filled gearbox, but as those two press together, one will grab onto the other and spin it up, causing the two shafts to align, and that engages the gear like that. Beautiful. So a more simplistic way of me showing you is just with a couple of coffee cups there. They're both tapered, and as you know, if you push two coffee cups together, they stick. That is the same principle as the Synchromesh. So when it's all working okay, we've got this shaft here that's spinning, it comes in, and as you press your gear selector, it's putting pressure, which then the friction of the two drives them both round. When it's worn, like on these 107s and the CityBugs on the first gear, second to first, this gear is spinning rapidly. It goes in and it just doesn't grab, it won't bite it, so it doesn't spin this one up to speed until the vehicle's stopped. So one of the gears is pretty much attached to the engine, the other one is attached to the wheels. So if you can imagine, the two speeds have got to be the same. When you put it into neutral, it's allowing this engine sort of gear to stop spinning. The main shaft will slowly slow down until it stops, which then allows you to engage the two, and away you go. If the two shafts in the gearbox aren't balanced at the same speed, the gears won't mesh together, which then gives you this problem where it just sticks and it won't go in. So this is the 107, and we've got the problem on this gearbox And what happens is when you come into a junction, you're in second gear like we are now, and I want to slow down and go to first, it won't go in, it just sticks. The only way we can get that in easily is to go to neutral, foot off the clutch, back on the clutch, and then it goes. You sort of double declutching in neutral, back into first, and it goes in every time then. So it's not a major issue, but it's a little bit awkward. If you want to pull away quickly, you're in second gear, you're approaching a junction and you want to go, you've got to rev it, second slip the clutch and then pull away, which is wearing the clutch more. But like I say, we're coming to slow down, it won't go in first. What happens is, these cars, a lot of them have got drivers in them that are quite new to driving, first cars and all that kind of thing. Nowadays, people are taught when they're slowing down to go from third gear, slow down, just drop it into neutral, and then when you're nearly sort of stopped, then to go to first. It's bad. It's bad for the gearboxes because they don't have a chance to spool. And if you're trying to spool into first gear, it's putting a lot of wear on that first Synchromesh. So I'm still moving, it's just gone into first nicely, but I was nearly stopped, which is fine. The gearbox isn't having to work too hard. But if you're doing a speed of sort of 10-15 miles an hour and you're in second gear and you're trying to get it into first, or if you're going from third to first, that first gear Synchromesh is howling because it's trying to speed up the shafts and it's wearing it out, and that's your problem. So how can we avoid this happening? It's dead simple. If your gearbox is working okay, you've got to change your driving style and you've got to do it in a different way. In the gearbox, you've got a Synchromesh from fourth to third gear, third to second, second to first. We've got 3 sets. We need to use them all. If you're going to pull up, if you're in fourth gear and you knock it into neutral, or you're waiting as you're slowing down and you're trying to get it in first gear, the only Synchromesh that's getting worn out is the first one, because the gearbox is spinning at such a rate because you've come straight out of fourth gear. This one is like whizzing like hell and it's really going to wear it out. What you need to do is use all of them. So the easiest way to do that, fourth to third, it spools the gearbox up first. Third to second, spools it up again, makes it go quicker. Second to first, spools it again, but because we've used the other 2 gears to get that main shaft spinning up, this one isn't having to work as hard and it's not going to wear it out. That is the answer. You've got to go through the gears as you're slowing down, fourth to third, third to second, second to first. Well, we've got another one because we've got a 5th gear here. I didn't mention that one, but you get the idea, you get what I'm saying. You've got to use all of your downshifts. Don't just go from fourth to first, or fifth to first, or third to first. Go down the gearbox and you'll save yourself wearing your Syncos out and your gearbox will last forever. I hope this video has been of use to you. It's a real ball ache to change that Synchromesh. You've got to strip the gearbox right down. It's a big job, big job. The cheapest way to do it is just get a second-hand gearbox from somewhere, Breakers Yard, Trent's or something like that, and bang it in. But you still don't know if the one you're getting is 100% until you fitted it, because you can't really check these out until you start driving it down the road. So, yeah, if it's been of use to you, drop me a little thumbs up, like, subscribe. Thanks for watching.